Howdy everybody, welcome to another episode of George Reviews. So let's talk about Dune. So like many others, I saw Dune on opening weekend in a theater, though I will watch it a second time on HBO Max. And like many others, I really enjoyed the film. But there are a few things that I don't want to say didn't work, but I just didn't really emotionally connect to. That's what it comes down to with my first viewing experience with Dune. So, as you may know, or as you may not know, Dune's based off the popular Frank Herbert novel. If you read it, cool. I have not read it personally. I can never get through it. I've tried. Throw your hate comments at me. I don't care. But I couldn't really get through the Lord of the Rings either, but I love those movies. There's the David Lynch film, Dune, probably his worst film, and we Lynch fans don't really like to talk about that one as much. And there's the famous Jodorowsky attempt. He was never able to make it, unfortunately. There's a great documentary called Jodorowsky's Dune that I would highly recommend. But so now we have Denis Villeneuve in the director's chair. Dune was supposed to come out in 2020 but was moved to 2021. Finally released on theaters and HBO Max, though there are some hiccups and not so kind words from Villeneuve about that situation. The film was number one at the box office, making $45 million just on its opening weekend. Of course, it's made a lot more overseas, and we are now guaranteed Dune Part 2. This film marketing might call it Dune, but really it's just Dune Part 1, and it's only part one of a two-part film, which has some people a little bit up in arms, and I can understand that, but the fact that it's just a part one of a two-part film didn't really bother me that much, to be perfectly honest. So basically the film is about the Atreides family, and they're trusted with the number one and most important elements in the galaxy, which is spice. And so the Atreides family is put in charge of looking after the, I guess, seemingly most dangerous planet in the galaxy, to entrust the protection of spice. And there's this power struggle from these other forces, and it kind of blows up into chaos, and there are visions and prophecies and lots of different things that are probably too intelligent for my little brain to comprehend. But all in all, Dune is definitely an experience that only Denis Villeneuve could really deliver as a filmmaker. Now, I came into this not as a fan of Dune. Obviously, I didn't read the book or couldn't get through the book, but I kind of went into this as a Denis Villeneuve fan. I love films like Prisoners, Blade Runner 2049, Arrival, Sicario, and my personal favorite from him, Enemy, with Jake Gyllenhaal. That's my favorite Villeneuve. It's still my favorite Villeneuve film, I would say. There's still a bunch of his older films I have not seen, but I can confidently say from watching those 5 films that I am a big fan of his work, and he is one of my favorite contemporary filmmakers. And so I was very optimistically curious about what he would do with this kind of source material. Villeneuve has delivered a very interesting experience with Dune, and an experience that I really enjoyed, which is much I can say from this year of films that have come out. This is one I've definitely had in my head since seeing it. I have not seen it for a second time yet, but I am definitely very interested in seeing it again and again, to really get a good feel for it. So in terms of his filmography, this is probably lower for me. Next to Sicario and Arrival, I'd say Prisoners, Enemy, and Blade Runner 2049 are much more superior in terms of getting an emotional connection out of his filmmaking and out of his films. I really didn't get much of an emotional connection with this material. I think it's just a disconnect between the material and me as an audience viewer that I couldn't really deliver to me on the level I really wanted to. And believe me, I really wanted to be blown away from this film, but all in all, it didn't really reach emotional heights that his last film, Blade Runner 2049, did. And I'm not even the biggest fan of Blade Runner, but that film completely captivated me in ways I was not expecting. I was not expecting to even really like that film very much, but I did. But to what I liked, I mean, this film was immaculate on a technical level. You know, the cinematography, the sound design, the production design. This is an epic story, and he does a good job at introducing all the elements and all the characters, and everything is just technically immaculate. And that's the best thing I can say about about Dune is its technical quality. Story, and I kind of expected this going in. Story had me a little bit lost. There's a lot of setup. And there's some payoffs. The action sequences are mesmerizing. There's definitely tension within those moments. And I did connect with the characters. You know, I thought Timothee Chalamet did a really good job, as well as Oscar Isaac, Rebecca Ferguson, who I've never really liked in anything, especially Reminiscence. I definitely thought she did a great job and was one of the standouts for me in this. You got Jason Mamoa, who I'm not that big on either, but he did a really great performance. Javier Bardem. I could go on and on. The cast is so massive. Every performer really does their best and gives their all in the material that they're given. And I just think whether or not I was following or if I was lost within some of the scenes, the characters were something that kind of pulled me through, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And even the effects in CGI, which is something that I do not really enjoy. I'm not a big fan of CGI. I thought it was really implemented somewhat sparingly, but worked with the look of the film and everything. But it all comes down to the story and the material just didn't really sink me in, and I really wanted more from Dune than it was willing to kind of give me, though this is my initial first thoughts and reaction to the film. I did not really follow many of the trailers. I didn't try to overhype it. I know everyone is calling this a masterpiece, and I think it's great that people are loving it. I think it's great we're getting a sequel or a proper second part to this film to continue. A lot of people are saying they feel the film ends abruptly, but I feel it ends in a really good spot. You know, I think it's really ends on a great point. Similar, well, maybe not similar, but like the Fellowship of the Ring ends. You know, it ends with things kind of in balance and are hanging on, but it leaves you in a spot where the journey will continue. And I really have no idea where the story is going. I think it's an advantage of not reading the book, not reading the source material, is not really knowing where the story is going and being more surprised. And I'm hoping that everything that I felt not like lacking, but just found I couldn't follow within this first part will be more delivered or made clear on the second part and with repeat viewings, because there's definitely film I want to revisit. And you know, it's Denis Villeneuve, and I think that it's an event when he comes out with a film. It's been 3-4 years since Blade Runner 2049, so this is going to be an event film for me no matter what. Again, I'm coming into this as a Denis Villeneuve fan. I'm not coming into this as someone who love or has read the book or, you know, is very intrigued by this material. Not saying it's bad material, but for me, I just didn't 100% connect to a lot of the setup, and that kind of diverted the pacing of the film a little bit for me. I'm hoping to get more out of it on a second viewing. And those are going to be my main thoughts on Dune. And for now, I'm going to rate Dune 3.5 stars. I know, I'm terrible. I'm a piece of shit. Throw your hate comments at me again. That's fine. Yeah, all in all, I think it's closer to 4 stars than 3, but there's just some things I just couldn't really connect to emotionally. But anyways, that's going to be my elongated thoughts on the film Dune. What did you think of Dune? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you a fan of the source material? Have you read the books? Does it honor the source material like a lot of people are saying, or is it completely fall flat for you? I'd really like to know down there in the comments, and please like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. My name is George Ray. I want to thank you for tuning into this review and this video. Please remember to keep calm, keep cool, keep chill, embrace great cinema. I'll see you on the next video. Until next time, peace out.